Alright, this is going to be a video of this Hampton Bay Littleton ceiling fan. It's 42 inches. I bought this from Brandon C. Johnson for 15 bucks. It's used. He only used it a very few times, but it does have some a little bit of usage to it, like appearance wise. But yeah, I I got this fan because I want to repaint it to match the mainstays hugger that the Walmart used to sell. The mainstays hugger that they have now looks just like the Armitage that they used to sell before they redesigned it. The 42-inch one, that is. And they had them in antique brass as well. And I don't know if they had them in polished brass, but they had them in various finishes. And the one that I liked the most was the rainbow one, where the motor housing was red, the motor was black, switch housing was blue, and the light kit was yellow, and the blades were red, green, yellow, and blue. And the blade arms were the same color to match the blades as well. And I want to recreate that fan because I want to recreate it with this because it's the closest fan that I've seen of since it was basically the same thing except that those were made by Litex and this is made by SMC. So since these have the round tip blade, so that's really the only difference. But I don't really care since it's basically the same thing. I mean, the difference is if you check out the fan of Brian, the fan of fan 17. I was about to call him by his old YouTube name, but he has one. He claimed he put it as a title as the Littleton, but it's actually not because the blades are not round tips like these. They're more point tip, like the regular point tips. So yeah. But this fan, it's actually a pretty good air move. I'm gonna say that. And you guys might laugh about it, but it's not as good as the Hunters or a good majority of the fans I have. But actually, it's not as bad as I expected it to be. Quality of the fan, like the build, it is pretty flimsy. I'll say that. But the air movement is actually not as bad. So I guess the air movement does make up for it, to be honest. I mean, this would be something I could see in like a laundry room. And if I am going to be getting another one, so I have one in white and one in rainbow. But yeah. And the reason why I'm doing that because I'm going to be getting a Litex Vortex in the next couple weeks for 10 bucks used, and it's white. And it's in the same exact town that Mark Wilson lives in, and I'm going to be picking it up whenever I see him again, which should be the next week or two, hopefully, since he has a new job. So it's been a bit difficult seeing him again. So I still need to give him his KDK so I can get the white low profile new in box and the bright brass Infinity that he has. Usually he has videos of both of them, but yeah, he did agree to swap them for that since I paid 40 bucks for the KDK and I don't really mind if I get two fans in return. Which he probably would have sold me 20 bucks for each of them. So in a way, I just already paid 20 bucks for each of them by getting him the KDK. So yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint this one like the rainbow one first because I want to test to see how well the paint job comes out before I end up painting the Litex Vortex. If it comes out decent on this, I'll just leave the Litex Vortex the way it is, white. But if not, if it actually comes out very well, because I'm going to be using Rust-Oleum, I think it's called. It's Rust something. But it's the same thing that I used in the Dominican Republic but they have them in different colors. And so I'm going to be using that on this to see if it comes like factory finish. It looks like it came out of factory basically. That's what I'm going to be doing. The motor I'm probably just going to paint with a regular can of black paint. That's like a cheap one, like a couple bucks, like $1. Like the very cheap ones. That I don't really need it to be extremely glossy, but I do need the motor housing and the switch housing to be glossy. The blades, it will at least look better with a better quality paint, so that's what I'm going to do with that. And I will be doing a video of it with the bleach oak blades right after this, so look forward to that. Let me go ahead and show it with the white. And also the schoolhouse globe and the blade screws are not original. These blade screws are actually from the Hampton Bay Cameron 2, the 44-inch one of the two brass ones that I have. Polished brass, that is. And the globe is actually a spare globe that I got at the thrift shop, which I actually bought this for the unknown hugger that I brought back from the Dominican. which I think is a Northman, but I'm not sure. That's my best guess right now. But since this one didn't have a globe, I threw this on here just for testing purposes. And let me go ahead and turn on the light. As you see, it does work, and then you can probably see that the weights have some scratches on it. So that's the other reason why I don't mind painting this one. If I brought one brand new, I'd be more likely to leave it alone. But since this one's used, I don't mind painting it because it already has some scratches on it. So yeah, and I will be doing a video of me painting it. I'll probably do like an iMovie competition video, like a bunch of videos put together. So it will be done with iMovie. So look forward to that. It'll be like a before and after video. It will not like the ones I did in Dominican Republic, but I will be actually like recording me painting it. So yeah. So yeah, let me go ahead and shut off the light and turn on the fan, starting off with low. And I actually like to do it, start off with low, and then medium and high, because I feel like it kind of builds up for the big movement. Like, because I feel like high is the best part of the video, because you get to see how well the fan performs, like how much air it moves, so that's why I always do it like this. There have been some instances that I've done it the other way around, but I like doing it this way. I do like to see the fan start up, like speed up, catch up, get up to speed. And that brown cord that's connecting the fan wires, that's actually connected to the fan wires, so it turns on. Part of it is actually underneath the motor housing, because the fan does wobble a bit, and when it wobbles, the whole entire fan itself spins. So that's why I have that underneath it. Yeah, the blade arms are not in the best alignment. I mean, there's two of them that are okay, and there's the other two that aren't too well. It was a lot worse before, but I bent them back into place. But I didn't want to bend them too much. This is the best I can probably get it, and I don't want to try to risk breaking them. So that's why I'm just going to leave them alone. For low speed, I actually feel a little breeze from it over here. I actually feel a nice gentle breeze. And I emphasize on the word gentle, because it's just, but there a lot of the fans that I've tested before, I actually couldn't even feel any air from it on low, so this is actually not too bad on air movement. These don't last too long from what I know. I feel like some of them break down quick, but I'm not going to be using this too much, like 24/7. Some people use them a lot, so that's why they can probably break down. But these fans actually are not meant for like to last a while. It's kind of like a cheap fan to have for the time being. That's what I view them as. And if there's like a family that can't afford like a Hunter original or brand new Casablanca, like a lot of people, or like best quality fans out there, there are people who can afford the good stuff. So that's something some of the fan clubs that I wish would understand, that it's better than nothing. At least they have a fan than nothing at all. And me personally, we only got Hampton Bays because my mom could not afford like a Hunter back when we were getting fans in the house. Back when Hunter was so good, because she couldn't afford them because they were too expensive for her. So that's why I'm a bit fond of cheaper made fans, because I do understand it when people can't afford the best ones because they don't have low income. But yeah, the motor's not too bad. Like, I mean, it's not cheap. It's not a cheap motor. Is it not? Is it underpowered? Yes or no, but I mean, it could be a bit faster, but it's not that bad. The speeds aren't bad on it. The blade arms are probably the worst part about this fan. Water housing, I mean, all of them can bend a bit if you take them apart. I mean, it's normal. I mean, this is a May 2013 model, so yeah. So you want to go ahead and show it with the light. And I do have the poachings taped up just so they don't bounce around. Has a nice little speed. This reminds me of the mainstays hugger that my grandmother used to have in her bedroom before she replaced it with the Hampton Bay Clarkson and antique brass. It's the house that has the Bahama in the living room and that very cheap will breeze fan in the kitchen. I am going to try to switch it out. I kind of want to just leave it in there until I graduate college, so then I can take it for myself. Cause I don't really have space for it right now. Well, it's not that I don't have space for it. I just don't want it. I just don't want it right at this moment because then it would be taking space for a fan that I can get in the future. And it's also the reason why I don't want her to throw it away is because it's actually a huge childhood fan of mine, even though it's a horrible fan. And that's why I want to get it for myself. So yeah, and she's not really crazy about changing it now. The only thing it really needs is a new switch because she has it on a dimmer. But it is better if she gets another fan just to do a better job. But she's okay with the quality. She doesn't. Well, she's actually on a very low income, so that's why she got it. I mean, she can't. I would recommend her to get the Glendale, like the 52-inch one, but she can't. It's a little bit high price for her. And don't even start saying to go check Habitat. And I'm not driving it, and she is not going to drive all the way to Boston just to get a fan, or even just to find one. So yeah, I'm just gonna give her whatever I have. I might give her the white Clarkson to put in the kitchen, but I just want to be able to. I don't know. I might be able to get the Willow Breeze. I don't know. I just don't want it to get thrown away because the mainstays the blade arm broke, and that's why I was unable to get it. She actually donated it to Salvation Army, but I actually wanted it for myself. So it was a huge childhood fan, and the Littletons resemble it so much. But yeah, medium speed moves a pretty good amount of air. I do feel a nice breeze, and the currents are moving quite a bit in. So are the pull chains on the low profile that's installed in the living room right above. Medium speed's a bit fast on this, actually. I'm surprised. I feel like medium speeds are pretty fast on a lot of 42-inch fans. But I mean, yeah, a lot of people, I feel like they call them a piece of garbage because it's not as good as a Hunter fan, but I mean, at least it moves air. That's really what matters. The fans are made just to move air, and that's really the main purpose. I mean, at least it moves air. I mean, there are fans I've tested that don't even move air at all. And I'm actually being quite dead serious. They moved air, but moving, like, trying to blow my, like, how do I say this? You know, when people, like, are very hot and they, like, kind of, like, try to fan themselves down with their own hand, it moves like that type of air movement. That's kind of, like, how bad some of the fans I've tested move. That's, like, the least, it's, like, the most air that you move. Like, it's basically the same exact thing as fanning yourself down with your own hand. But yeah, this is. I like these fans a lot. I want to get the 1990s version. The one I'm talking about is the one that Fan Collector, the Russian Fazbear has. I actually would buy it off of him. I don't for like $20 plus shipping. If you're watching this Russian Fazbear, let me know if you'll be doing that. If you would actually agree to that, because I'll pay for shipping. Just $20, 25 I might, because it's an older one, but $20 was kind of like my highest. I'd probably pay for it. But yeah, I am trying to find one of those. I like the new ones and the old ones, but I like the old ones a tiny bit more because the Home Depot that I go to has the older one on display. And if I get a job, I am going to try to get a job today, and I might actually see if I can just swap it out with a new one like this. Because it's never really been used, and it's an older one. It's in good shape. It's not like all beat up like a lot of the other, like a majority of the fans at Home Depot are, the ones that are installed. And the blades aren't saying that's probably the oldest fan that's on display right now, because a lot of the other ones have been discontinued, and that exact one's been there since I was a kid. Right, maybe shut off the light and move it up to high. I actually do feel quite a breeze from it over here. The pull chains on the bowl profile are moving a bit more. Not bad air movement, I gotta say that. I mean, if you're just looking for a fan just to do the job, but you don't want to spend too much, if you're like trying to spend less than 50, like 50 or less, if you just want a fan that does the job, get this. But if you want something that does a little bit more, I'd say 42-inch Glendale. But yeah, this is actually not bad. It's actually, I feel like the people around the collectors just say it's a piece of crap fan because of the quality, and that's true. Quality in like the build of this fan is pretty cheap. I'll say that, but air movement isn't too bad. I'll be honest. I mean, it's not the best air movement, but it's not horrible. I'll be honest. But yeah, I'm gonna be getting some paint for this tomorrow, so I'll do a before and after video. Then I'll do the if I can get it all painted, but I don't know if I'm not gonna be able to paint record it right at home right away. Cause I need to clean it up still, cause it has a ton of grease. I think I can get it recorded tomorrow, but we'll see. I wanna there is another fan I actually need to record right at home. I probably will just do the video of it with the green blades right now, and then once I clean the other side, I'll show it with the other finish, the other blade finish. I'm not sure what it is, but it's like a wood finish, similar to Will Hollow's Glasgow House Beautiful that he used to have. There was green and brass and had brown blades on one side and green on the other side. It's the same thing. But yeah, remember bringing it closer so you can hear the air movement. Yeah, I loved look at these fans. They look like one of my favorite designs when I was a kid. I mean, if I'm just looking for a fan to move some air, but not cool me down completely, just to move air around, I would definitely recommend this. Just don't expect it to be a fan that will last over 20 years and still be in good shape. That's all I gotta say. Then it's if you're taking care of it, probably, but I can see that more with the 90s ones, but the newer ones, not so much. I mean, I remember how Coach Mako he installed one outside, but that one was already in bad shape to begin with. I actually would do that to one, but I wouldn't mind doing that to one. I actually would like to do that, but it has to be in very bad shape for me to do that. Not in good. This one's in good shape. This one was scratched up. That's it. And short underneath. Sometimes when I floor test fans, even on forward, the air movement's more on the bottom. But for this one, it's kind of the case. The same thing with the Hampton Bay Aerosol and the Buckhead Bow Hunter. But yeah, this fan is moving in good air. Alright, make sure it was, oh, I don't. I want that thing moved over. That's exactly why I once I shut off the light, then I'll just let it spin down from the way it is. If I didn't have the cable underneath it, it would have been moving a lot worse. Alright, let me shut it off. Actually, yeah, let me shut it off. And do a spin down. But yeah, these are the type of fans I'd see a lot at friends' houses when I was a kid that I don't see anymore. Or just visiting my mom's friends, they would have some very similar fans like this. So yeah, and I always love these Littletons. I always have and I always will. So yeah. Yeah, it's like it is definitely a childhood dream come true for me to finally own one. Brandon C. Johnson, if you're watching this, thanks a lot. I know you're very happy to get rid of this because since you didn't like it too much, but since I'm going to be repainting it like the mainstays one, it really does mean a lot that I can finally do that. So thanks again, Brandon C. Johnson. It means a lot. And also give him subscribe to his channel. But he has really good videos. I'll post his channel link in the description below. He has a very unique collection. Like he has a lot of Casablancas. I don't know if he has more than me actually. I never counted in his collection. I don't know if he has in his collection, but he has about the same amount of fans as I do. Yeah, once this is done, I'm gonna just end the video and start recording it with the bleach oak blades. Alright, it's come to a complete stop, and that'll be the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos to come.